Yeah. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Yeah. All right. Thank God for growth. Thank God for pain. Thank God for both. Thank God for hope. It's like the old me's thinking the ship's dearly departed. The new me says the ride is getting started. A little more than an artist. Been auditing my art, setting boundaries and talking through my thoughts. What a process. If I can be honest, I was lying a lot to discover who I am first and now what I'm not. A lot of knots on this thick skull. Best thing about the ground is full of lessons to pick up. No mix-ups, exactly where I'm supposed to be. No more posing was broken in pieces. I am more than my dreams. I'm opposed to the thinking. Gotta boast for you to see me. No, I dispose of Legion. All my hopes in Jesus. In '06, I was shoulder leaning. Now I'm joking with Tanika, saving for Costa Rica to enjoy the view. I asked her why she's with me. She's beautiful, I'm boring. Her response was, I'm boring too. My lord, what's in store for you, dude? For the last 2 years, you've been teaching me to enjoy the losing. Now I'm cruising, but my crew's different. I felt like Mike in '92 if he was to lose Pippen. I feel like Mike in '96, what a huge difference. All the rules out my system, now I'm loose with it. But still honoring my covenant. All the pressure out of me, religion still necessary. Minus the legalities, I'm out of reach. Sniping, trying to hit every target. But still close enough to touch the hem of his garment. The goal is to be faithful, it used to be relevance. Want nothing in common with artificial intelligence. More than a champ, I am a lamp. We gotta concentrate on a little more than these camps, cause I'ma chill right there. I'ma chill right there. I always forget something. What up? What's going on? What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Wake Up Tonight, November 8th, 2023. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope everybody is well. I hope everybody is blessed and content. And I hope that if you are not, that this is a space for you to process that, because this is definitely going to be a place where I process how I'm feeling. Because, man, I promise, like on stream day, there's always some shenanigans, like always. It never fails. But I kid you not, like I hadn't ate. So, we were getting the girls to bed, but I told my wife, like, hey, I need to go get some food real quick. I need to like let some steam out of my ears. And it was funny is like, God is funny, because while I'm driving to go get some food, I'm like fussing at him. Like, hey, look, why do you put your people in a position to where they need you? This is annoying. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, it's like no news is like, I don't talk to my dad every day. I talk to him like once a week. And for us, it's no news is good news. You know what I'm saying? If I don't hear from my dad, like, it's cool. I shoot him a text. But like on the weekend, I'm calling my dad and we going to talk. And it ain't even necessarily like, okay, I need advice on this. It's like, we're just going to talk. Like, that's just the level of parenting and relationship that I have with my father, which is great and which works, right? God, on the other hand, like, yo, I would just assume that you would just like protect your people and just make sure nothing like comes into the sphere, the hedge of protection that, many black Christians like to pray about, right? Don't let nothing get inside the circle, and we cool. But something got inside the circle. And I'm looking at God like, hey man, something got in the circle. Like, why did this get in the circle? And it's not even like, this wasn't even necessary. Like, what is this teaching me, right? So I'm irritated. So I'm driving and I'm going somewhere close. I'm driving somewhere close. And so I'm fussing at God. Like, look, I'm going off. Like, it ain't, like my natural inclination is like, oh, you have to worship through your, I'm like, yo, I'm not worshiping. Like, I'm like, hey, what's up? What's up? Cause I'm not doing this today. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing this tonight. I was so hot. I was going to cancel the stream. Like, no, I'm not about to do this. I'm about to tend to my family. I'm going to chill. I'm going to hang out with my wife. And I'm going to just like let the steam out that way. I got about halfway to wherever I was going to get food at. And I felt like after I finished fussing at God, because it wasn't quick, I fussed at God and I felt like this like peace. I just started laughing. I was like, all right. And it's like, you know what? Like while my wife and I were talking about what just happened, my wife is the one that's like, she's thinking, she's optimistic. Like, hey, this is what's going on. This is still good. This is here. This is that. This is blah, 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 right? I don't hear none of that. I ain't trying to hear none of that. But after I feel that peace, I feel I start hearing my wife's voice saying the things that she was saying to me 15 minutes ago when I was hot. Really just saying to us. So I came back, I ate, I came back to the house. House was quiet. You know what I'm saying? 9-year-old was in the bed. My 2-year-old is not, because she never is. She doesn't have a bedtime. I went in the room and I told my wife, like, yo, you're right. We good. It's straight. Like, this is going to get handled. It's not even that serious. Like, we good. And what that taught me is that my relationship with God is my relationship with God. And I think a big barrier to really jump at the deep end of the pool has always been like feeling like I had to present in a certain way, or that like my walk with God was we say it's supposed to yield fruit, but really we mean we want it to look like what everybody else defines as like yielding fruit. And that's such a broad term, but we have like very specific definitions for it. Like yielding fruit means this and this and this. And yes, there are biblical, examples of what exactly yields fruit. But I think culturally, like within church culture, within black church culture, within black Christianity, we have these like earmarks of what yielding fruit is and what that looks like. And I'll be like, bro, that ain't me. You know what I'm saying? Not to say I don't yield fruit. I'm saying like the culture of it is not something that I ascribe to. And that's been a big barrier for me. And I think the last time we streamed, and maybe I talked about this a little more on my Patreon stream, which there I get a little more transparent, a little more direct, talk about like really just like deeper issues. But, I've had like a series of encounters with God over the last month or so. And it's been really like life-changing in very subtle ways. And it's something that I've appreciated and something that I've needed. It's been very necessary in my deconstruction, reconstruction, what all that looks like, right? So because today was so crazy, I did not get a chance to like really go through my itinerary. I was just prayerful as far as what I wanted to talk about. So what I want to do is, I guess I'm just going to freestyle and I'm going to recap maybe the last couple weeks and things that have been important to me and on my mind. And, we just going to do that. I got some things in the pipeline that are really exciting. I'm starting to like do some things that I did not want to do 6 months ago creatively. So merch is coming, music is coming, like things to the Patreon is coming, things to the newsletter is coming. So however you connect with me, like I'm gonna feed you, and I'm really excited. Feed you in like a real way. So I'm very excited about the next few months. So I just had a birthday on Halloween, and my birthday was really, really dope, man. It was really dope. I got to go to Florida, and I got to spend some time with some friends, lifelong friends that I was in the military with. And it was really good to reconnect with those dudes, because we literally have grown up together. I've known those dudes since I was 19 years old. Like, they knew me before, they knew me before I had my first child. So they've been through all the stuff, all the things. So it was really good to connect with them, be in Florida. We split the trip up. We went to Miami for the first 3 days, and then we went to Orlando for the last 3. So I definitely want to thank my wife for holding down the fort, watching our babies for an extended amount of time for a week. Like, that is not doing that again. So it was cool, man. And man, what it really made me realize was, like, I also got to see my son. I'm sorry, my son lives in Orlando, so I got to see my baby. And he bought me this hat. You know what I'm saying? I wanted a Florida Marlins hat. When I played baseball as a kid, the Florida Marlins were the Marlins were the first team that I played for. And I wanted a Marlins snapback. Just a little basic joint. Now the fitteds be having all these like patches and stuff on there. I ain't doing all that. Something very simple. I wish I could find a green brim, but that's under brim, but that's okay. The gray works. But the only one they had was the joint with the upside down F. I'm cool with that. I know they're jacking what's the name of that brand out of LA? Because I have some, and I'm actually selling a couple of them because they don't look right. Oh, Kill the Hype. I know New Era's jacking to kill the hype and what they did, but I don't care. Like, it's cool. So my son bought me this hat. I got to see him, spend some time with him. He's just a teenager, man. Like, so crazy. Your kids just, they be like babies, baby, and then they hit a sharp turn and it's like teenager. It's like, whoa, I got teenagers, cuz. It's crazy. It's crazy. But before I get into that, man, how's everybody's week been? How's everybody doing? Let's get this chat going. I know it's like 10 of y'all in here. Make sure y'all like this video, man, before I just start ranting about random stuff. But let me know how y'all are doing tonight. I wish I could see everybody who is in here. They won't let me. My streaming software doesn't let me see everybody who's in here, but I do see Kellis in here. What up? I see my mom in here. Hello, Mom. I see Shane in here. What up? I see Eddie. What up? What's going on, y'all? Where do we start? Actually, you know what I'm going to do? What I realized as a kid, I'm going to just go through my Instagram and I'm going to just like talk through some of the stuff that I've been posting lately. That's what I'm going to do. So what I realized is, like, I like to like reflect back on my life. David, what's going on, bro? I like to look back on my life, right? Like, whenever a birthday comes up, I know people do that at like the end of the year. But I like to do that like around my birthday. Birthdays are really important to me. I like to celebrate my life. And I think one of the reasons why I do that, oh, my wife is here. Hi, baby. I like to celebrate my life because I'm really hard on myself through the course of the year, like really hard on myself. So when I think back on my life, or when I think back on things, it's often like oh man, I'm stressed. Oh man, I'm overwhelmed. Oh man, I have all this responsibility, this, that, and the third, X, Y, and Z. But I was like, really? So when I did that video, I did an Instagram reel, and I wish I could show it to y'all. I mean, I could pull it up, but just go to my whoops, I got you. I lost my train of thought because I just got a text. I just got a text message. One of my group chats just said something crazy. But that's what it is. I like to reflect on my life, and I did this reel. It's on my YouTube as well. So it's on a short. So, you know what I'm saying? After this, you can look at it. And it was like, yo, how did I spend 38? How did I spend my 38th year on earth? Like, what did I do? And I started breaking it down. I was like, yo, a lot happened this year for me personally. You know, I reconciled with my mom. That was big. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mom and I were estranged for pretty much my entire adult life. And I got to a point where I was like, yo, like, I miss my mom. I want to try to make this right. I want to, you know, rectify our relationship. And, you know, got a lot of support from like friends and family to do that. And I was scared to do it, and I did it. And it's by far like the best decision that I made this year. Like, I'm tearing up just thinking about it, but I'm so glad that I did it. And I'm so glad that my mom was receptive to it. Like, we've been rocking. Like, that's my girl. Like, I'm really enjoying, it don't really feel like a catch up. It doesn't feel like a catch up. It really just feels like continuing where we left off. Cause when I was a kid, like, I was a mama's boy. Like, I used to be up under my mom. I would go to, we would go kick it. So like, I would go run errands with her. She would go. So this is when we lived in California, and she would get me like she'd give me a bag of Cheetos and a Yoo-Hoo and like a WWF magazine. And I would just like ride with her wherever we was going, to the commissary, to the grocery store, BX, because we lived on a military base, like, and we just kicked it. Like, that was like I was really close to my mom. So in many ways, we were really able to just like get back in and just like keep going from where we left off. And that by far like helped out. But that actually came off of the Hawaii trip. So my wife and I went to Hawaii this year. We finally got the chance and the space to celebrate our anniversary. And it was funny because I think I shared this like on a previous stream where, like, you know, like Hawaii was expensive. And I wanted to go. And not only did I want to go because I wanted to like get out of the country, get out of the 48 states with my wife, right? But like, I used to live there for 2 years, and I felt like that was a part of of my healing journey. I feel like I needed to go back there and experience some things. And we were going to settle and go to Miami. I was like, yeah, I just kind of want to go to Miami. And the fact that I went to Miami with my boys for my birthday, and like, I was there and I was like, yeah, I want to go here. I don't want to go here like on a wedding anniversary. It just wasn't, Miami wasn't romantic. Hawaii was very romantic. So we got to celebrate each other and like go and it was funny when I made the decision. This ministered to me so much. I remember talking to my wife, and I said, you know what? I said, nah, we're not going to Miami. We're going to Hawaii. It's what we want to do. So we going to figure it out. We going to go. And I kid you not, like, things just started happening. Like, I started getting opportunities I don't even have booking information on my website. Like, I'm super tripping. I don't put myself out there like I need to get bookings here and there, do this. Like, I got all these opportunities to like make money, and I made way more than enough to like cover the whole trip, like in a matter of months. And I really do feel like when I made the decision, this is what I want to do, I felt like God met me at my resolve and then just like made it happen. And I so feel like that is just like a mantra for so many of us. Like, we be like travailing and like waiting on God. Like, Lord, when are you going to? When are you going to? And God is like, I'm waiting on you to make a decision. Just make the decision. You know what I'm saying? Like, just say yes or say no. Make the decision so I know how to move. Because you kind of got me in limbo. You saying the wrong thing to me right now. So, you know, the resolve of the yes was like, I feel like that was such a momentum. So like, yo, it was such a big momentum builder for me. So we did Hawaii. I watched my daughter graduate high school. That was nuts. Like, yo, I remember we're in the early stages of potty training our 2-year-old. It's like, yeah, I remember potty training my oldest child. Like, she turned 18 this year and she graduated high school. Like, and she just moved out of her mom's house. Like, just boom, 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 boom. Crazy. Went to DC. DC is fire. We went to DC. DC is fire. The trip was a little crazy. If you ever been on a family vacation, you know by the end of that trip, you kind of tired of everybody. It was definitely that. But DC was fire. That's a place I want to go back to with my wife. DC was super fire. God, what else did we put out music, man. I put out Snooze Button 6. High quality rapping. I feel like it's some of the best rapping of my career, of my discography. Rapping really, really well. Dang, what else did we do? It's just so many concerts. We went to see Wu-Tang and Nas, and was Alex Osley this year? Tanika, was that this year or was that last year? I don't remember. I don't know if Alex Osley was this year or last year. You know, and Tony, and, you know, I got to take my mom and my daughter to see Alicia Keys, and we got floor seats, and we were mad close to Alicia, and man, just so many like really, really cool things that I got to experience this year. But my mind could only see like the overwhelm. Like, I was overwhelmed for a good period of that time. Like, the summer was really overwhelmed. Like, I was in mourning this summer, and I was mourning the reality of like my family dynamic because it was changing now that my daughter was 18. And now that my son is in high school and he's changing, and you know what I'm saying? Like, my 2-year-old is not a 2-year-old anymore, and my 9-year-old is on the cusp of being a preteen. And I was mourning, and because I was mourning, I got really sad and overwhelmed. And you know, you can mourn like situations. You can like, a part of transition is mourning, because you're recognizing it like this. You know, this thing that was this is no longer this anymore. And sometimes we pray and shout and thank God for change, but like, there's a level of like, you know, change is hard. And I think that's one of the processes and things that come with change, is just like the reality of things transitioning into something that's now unfamiliar, and you have to learn something new. And that's all I remember when I reflected back on my life. But when I went through my phone and I saw all of these amazing moments that I had with my family and my friends and my community, like, yo, this might be the best year of my adult life. Definitely the best year of my 30s for sure. And so it made me really think about perspective, right? It made me think of, I might have used this example on another live stream. I feel like I said this publicly before maybe, but it reminded me of The Wire. So season 1 of The Wire, there's a character by the name of Bodie, and Bodie is talking to, oh dang, what's his name? D'Angelo. He's talking to Avon Barksdale's brother, D'Angelo. And D'Angelo runs like the pit. So this area of Baltimore, where they sell drugs, that D'Angelo's the leader and Bodie is like one of the top soldiers. So D'Angelo's mom, is his mom or his sister? Or his aunt? Somebody. I don't know why I can't think of her name, but the mom from Snowfall was in The Wire. She brings him food. And he gets his plate. He's killing his food. And Bodie's like, yo, what is that? He's like, yo, this spot over there, a couple blocks down, like, has the best food in the city. Have you ever been? And Bodie is like, nah. All I know are like these four. All I know is this area of my life. And D'Angelo got sad for him. It's like, yo, you really haven't experienced anything. And I think what happened for me is that sometimes I get really wrapped up in what I see. And I think the reason why I get wrapped up in what I see is because deep down I'm looking for somewhere to connect, like somewhere that I can connect my whole self to. So that could be a community, that could be a city, that could be a group of people, that could be anything. But I realized, like, yo, I'm so rich. I'm so rich in relationship. I'm so rich in opportunity. I'm so rich in all these different spaces where I'm connected and seen. And it's not just one thing. And that's a good thing, that it's not just this one space. You know what I'm saying? I always say, like, yo, I got people everywhere. I can go anywhere and I got folks there. You know what I'm saying? If I end up somewhere and I need somewhere to crash, I can definitely make a phone call and I'll have somebody there ready for me, just based off of my travels. Not because I did anything. And that could be anything from, like, that could be close friends. That could just be fans of my music. That could be people that I used to work with. That could be places I've traveled to. Just all types of stuff. Why am I thinking so small? You know what I'm saying? Make sure you guys like this video, please. I'm thinking so small because my life has become so wrapped up in my deconstruction and leaving my church and, figuring out music and, having a baby and getting married. And it's really easy to get wrapped up in, like, what you perceive to be your reality. But one of the things that I believe the Lord is, like, showing me is, like, yo, your life is so much bigger than your perspective. And you literally have to ask God to help you see yourself, because it's very easy to get wrapped up in routine, especially as men. Very easy to get wrapped up in routine. I need to go here. I got this to do. I got this. Get wrapped up in your responsibilities. Get wrapped up in trying to help everybody out. Get wrapped up in making sure everybody's taken care of. Everything is taken care of. Your house is moving. And that's a full-time job. You know what I'm saying? But I got so much to do. I have so much to do. And I've sold myself short up until this point. And having the year that I had just made me realize, even in selling myself short, I had an amazing year. Imagine what would happen if I was more intentional about my perspective and about thinking outside of the box and about saying no less and about not feeling like I do or don't belong in certain spaces. It's one of those things where I just feel like God has just been waiting on me. And I talked about, like, feeling like you like, oh, you're going to miss God. You're going to miss God. And I hate that. But, like, I don't feel like I've missed God. I feel like God is waiting on me, and there's a difference. And I feel like God is patiently waiting on me to get ready. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, he's patiently waiting on me to get ready. So, like, when I get dressed, I got a closet right here. My closet in our bedroom. I got storage room. Like I got clothes everywhere. Like if you could really see this side of the room, it looks crazy. I got clothes everywhere. And the good thing, and like when we're getting ready, my wife and I get ready to go out. Like my wife's closet is very small. She has a very modest closet. Like she don't really be tripping. She get dressed. She get her stuff off. She put her clothes on. She get dressed. She get fit. She look right. She looks great. She chilling. Me on the other hand, I'm like, all right, what about this shirt? Okay, what about this jacket? Okay, what about over here? What about this? What if I tried this? What if I go over here? Like it takes me forever to get ready. And my wife is just like, as patient as she is, she just be chilling. Hey, I hear her calling for, hey, mom, whenever you're ready, I'm ready. Just letting you know, I'm downstairs. I'm gonna go put my shoes on. And I'm like, right? All over the place. And it just helped me to realize like that same patience, like whatever my wife has, like the Lord has that for me like times 100. And that goodness is like, okay, all right, I'm ready. Cause like, yo, when I tell y'all, like y'all haven't, you know how many ideas I've thought myself out of? You know how many great things that like I could do and want to do and just haven't done because I'm just waiting on logistics or whatever excuse I tell myself. Like I'm not doing that anymore. And my community and my friends, I've put them all on notice. Like, hey, when you hear me try to talk myself out of stuff or you hear me get too deep into logistics, like stop me. I got some great things. Like, yo, I'm about to finish my 30s so strong. I cannot wait. Cannot wait. So many things in store, so many great things that I plan on doing. And this time next year, when we're talking, whatever this looks like in a year, because I got, like, y'all, one of my goals for this year with Wake Up Tonight is to do a show in front of a live studio audience. I want to rent a space. I want to get an audience to come in. And I literally want to run it like a late night talk show. I want to record it, have guests, have a musical performance. Like I literally want to get my Jimmy Fallon, Arsenio Hall. Didn't Sinbad have a late night talk show? Keenan Ivory Wayans, you know what I'm saying? Like I really want to get in that late night bag. So I'm really excited. I'm really, really excited. And I just appreciate, man, my community. You guys have been so supportive and so patient and so like rocking with whatever I've had capacity for and space for. Like y'all not tripping. So y'all about to eat. Y'all about to eat. Wake Up is, whew, I cannot wait. So Model Ministry is coming back. I got a haul coming. I just had some sneakers come today. I got some clothes coming the next couple days. So next week is going to be a Model Ministry Wake Up Tonight. I'm going to have a special guest and we're going to do a live reveal of the haul and we're going to talk fashion. So if you in your fashion bag, if you want to get into that space, that is for y'all. So, man, I can't wait. What do I want to talk about? Because I just feel like I've just been talking about myself. Let me go through my phone, see what have I been talking about? Or what do y'all want to talk about? I might say, actually, no, I'm going to say that for the Patreon. What can I talk about? Yep, clothes. I don't really be sharing the stuff that I really like and be into. I ain't gonna hold you. All right, somebody throw me a topic. Let's do that. Let's freestyle something real quick. I'm gonna stay on here till 10 o'clock. What y'all want to talk about? Ma, leave me alone. Yeah, for sure, David. For sure. Let me know what's some good spots in DC. What was the name of that cafe? Tanika, what was the name of that cafe we went to for breakfast? Breakfast was almost $200. Breakfast was crazy. The spot was so fire. It was like a bookstore, but then like it was also like a breakfast spot. We got recommended we got that space recommended to us and it was so good but it was expensive as like crazy. So what's up in the world? I know we just did a CRS last night. So like any music stuff, there's going to be a special Clock Radio speakers that should be coming out probably tomorrow or something like that. So subscribe to it's a Patreon exclusive episode. We did a Q&A. So we talked about all the music stuff there. So any music related questions, they can go over there. I know Shane asked me to talk about the D1 Rick Ross stuff. Do I want to talk about that? Do y'all want to hear me talk about D1 and Rick Ross? Because I don't know. Or do y'all want to hear me talk about something else? Ame is overpriced. Ame is super overpriced. I can't even like shop there anymore. Like I can't. Last thing I got a crew neck from them, and that was pretty much it. It's like, all right, I'm done here. I'm done here. Kith is getting up there too. Banana Republic, depending on what you get from Banana. Depending on what you get. My haul is from I got a piece from Zara. I kept it real simple. So I got something from Kith when I was in Miami. I got something from Gap. I got a bunch of stuff from Gap. And I got a piece from Zara. And I got something from Amazon. I ain't gonna hold you. I got something from Amazon. Bus Boys. Okay. Bus Boys and Poets. That's what it was. Bus Boys and Poets. That was the spot. Let me see. Lucky Day under. Y'all give me music questions. I don't want to talk music tonight. Y'all give me like direct music questions. Lucky Day is underrated. Yes. What is the last phase of Jay-Z's career going to look like? I don't know, but he needs to come out with an album this year. I feel like what Nas did in the last 2 years, I think that put a battery in Jay's back to do something. But, you know, we actually talked about this last night. Again, go to subscribe to the Patreon, the CRS Patreon. I don't want to hear like, you know, Blues house is bigger than, or Blues room is bigger than my house. I don't want to hear those rhymes from Jay. Like I want to hear something else. So, yeah, man. Oh, I did give my perspective in Patreon. I thought about it more and I had some more to say, so maybe I'll just save that for the Patreon Wake Up Tonight. Maybe I'll just do that. I'll wait. Okay. What's going on? All I saw on my timeline was Jeezy and Nia Long. All I saw was I ain't seen no basketball. I don't know. Bus Boys, all right. Y'all got a spot. It's a Bus Boys and Poets in Baltimore too? Y'all got multiple, is it multiple locations? Yeah. Okay, here we go. Actually, yeah, let's just add, okay, random questions. I'll bust these out for the next 20 minutes. Let's do that. Vacation prospects this year. Going back to Hawaii for sure. Definitely going back to Hawaii. I want to go back home to St. Louis. I want to see my family. I want to see my cousins. I want to see my aunts and my uncles. I want them to meet the family. They haven't met my wife, haven't met my kids. Well, haven't met my baby. They met my other kids. They haven't met my bonus daughter. So I would like for my family to see that. Probably a trip to see my mom. So I'll probably bust that out too. I think that's it. I think I'm light on the vacations this year. And then kicking it with my boys again. Definitely doing another Miami trip because that was so much fun. Miami was I said it wasn't romantic, but it was definitely fun. We had a lot of fun. We rented a Airbnb like just maybe like a block away from downtown from like, what was the name of that street? Main Street? I forgot what it was. So we would just walk over and everybody was super nice and the weather was beautiful and like, it was just really like Miami was just such a great time, man. Such a great time. So yeah, that's what I would say. St. Louis, Hawaii again, and then to go see my mom. Those are my spots. And I'm gonna send my wife somewhere. Send my wife on a solo trip. She need to get out of here and get a break. So that'll be it. Here we go. We Go On Tour Insights. Shout out to We Go On. Shout out to John. And I didn't really get to meet him. I just thought, something just crossed my mind. I'm not going to share that publicly. But shout out to Swoop. Shout out my man Swoop. The We Go On tour was really good. Has anybody gone? Is anybody going? I know they were just in LA the other night. We Go On was really good. I would say it was very it was like an introduction to grief. It's like an introduction to grief. I think if anything, like it wasn't heavy, but it was heavy. And it was heavy because everybody's grief was associated around like losing their mother. So it was like I think my heart like ached for them. Like not necessarily like they were able to communicate their grief and process their grief, but it's like, dang, like all three or four of these dudes, I think John was the only one that wasn't, but everybody else had lost their mom. And they like shared the story. So it was very empathetic night, I would say. The spot they had it at in Columbus was a club, which is crazy. It's a club that I've gone to like several 90s and 2000s parties at. So that was crazy. As a result, the acoustics were really bad. Swoop performed like songs off of so he's got an album that's based off of like grief and based off of We Go On. And he performed songs off of there. And the acoustics were just two things. The acoustics were bad, and Columbus crowds are just really stiff. So they was just sitting there looking at him like this, like Swoop. I don't want to spoil it, but there's the end of Swoop's show is like, and Columbus was just like, yo, what is wrong? What is wrong with Columbus, man? Columbus be doing too much, man. I feel like the regular scene in Columbus is better. I feel like the Columbus Christian scene could stand to get a little kick in the pants and step it up a little bit. But if it is in your city, you should go. It was really, really dope. The presentation was dope. Definitely worth your time. It was about an hour and a half, close to 2 hours, about 2 hours, but it was really good. They had a, I don't want to spoil it, but they had like a comedian come in and like tell jokes about grief. And it was like, oh, and it was like, it was off-putting, but as he got into his set, it was like, oh, this makes sense, because what are some of the ways that we like process grief? It's through like cracking jokes and humor. You know what I'm saying? So it made sense. I wasn't mad at it. But yeah, it was a good show. It's a good show. Last thing I'll say about it is Swoop's album. This is Swoop's Mr. Morale. And I feel like I've said that before, but this is Swoop's Mr. Morale, number one. And it's funny, Jackie posted that on Threads, like, oh, I don't have time to make music, because she has a verse on Swoop's album, and her verse is crazy. And this is his Mr. Morale. And by that, I mean, it's so heavy, but it's so good. It's really good. It's really good. So shout out to We Go On. What else? Recent reading recommendations. I've been in my Audible bag. Let me pull up Audible. I definitely got a few books that I've been getting back into books, because like, I ain't gonna hold you. I feel like a lot of like Christians like love to read, and I just be like, I used to read a lot as a kid. I don't have time to read, but I've been in my Audible bag. That helps a lot. So hold up. So I've been listening to a few things. Okay. So Will Smith's book. Been listening to Will. That's really heavy. I have to like pace myself with that book, because that's a lot. I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit. Is it Sethi? Ramit? He has a show on Netflix called something about your best life or your most rich life or something like that. So he's just breaking down finances and stuff. Like it's a really good book. The Pathless Path by Paul Millard. Someone recommended that to me. That's a really good book. I read There's Just One Problem by Brian Gewirtz, who was a WWE writer, like in the mid to late 2000s, 2000, like 2005 to like 2003 to like 2012 or something like that. And he works with The Rock. It's just a bunch of like backstage wrestling stories. Like that one's cool. I just started The Body Keeps the Score. And I just bought Talk Therapy is Not Enough. Creative Practices for Trauma Treatment by Dorothy Adamson Holly, which is my homegirl recommended. She's going to be my next. She is on Instagram. Her name is A Brilliant Dummy, but she'll be my next guest for Kairos Conversations. So her and I are going to have a conversation about how her deconstruction from church and Christianity led her into her wellness journey. It's going to be a great conversation, but she recommended that book to me. I was like, whoa, talk therapy is not enough. And it's like, oh, that makes sense. It talks about like other ways to like process your emotions besides just sitting on the couch talking to a professional. So I can't wait to get into that. Those books are going to that's going to take me a year to read because I'm not here. Yeah, good questions. All right. Let me see. Here we go. Is doing fan supporter engagement in this format ever weird? It's kind of weird to participate in sometimes. It's as weird as the people are, I would say. I, for the most part, have a pretty solid community. So the folks that show up consistently, for the most part, they cool. And when I've met them in person, they were cool. I think, Julian, you missed on Patreon. We did a Zoom call maybe like 3 months ago or something like that. Kellis was on there. Shane was on there. Jordan was on there. Tiffany was on there. And it was like a really good time. It's like, yo, I've never met these people before. And like, it was really cool. So this live stream stuff, no, it's not awkward at all. There was a time, do y'all remember, sometimes people get in the comments and be talking crazy. Do y'all remember when somebody was in my comments talking crazy and I was talking crazy back to them? Like, that's probably the extent of it. Oh, speaking of comments, so I made a video, and I think I'm going to put this out to my Patreon to get y'all's feedback. I made a video on business casual is racist based off of that comment that I left. I need y'all's feedback because I feel like I don't know. I don't know if it's right. I don't even know if I want to put it out or like entertain that. So that may just be a Patreon exclusive, or I may put it out. I don't know. But just letting y'all know, a lot of model ministry stuff is coming, is on the way. All right, what else? Courtney says, what do I think about the Kith and Knicks collab? Oh, it's dope if it wasn't the Knicks. I like the jerseys. Because I like that era of jersey, like the late 90s, early 2000 Knicks. Those are my favorite Knicks jerseys. But I'm not paying for. A couple of the jackets are cool. Like, I got so many Kith pieces, man. Like something, let me see if you can't really see it. This is the piece that I got in. You can't really see it. Hold up. This is the piece that I got in Miami. Can't really see it. Ooh. You can't even see how beautiful this blue is. Oh, there, you can kind of see it now. Ooh, that blue is gorgeous. Y'all know I love my Sheridan jackets. I've got like 3 of them. I think that's my 4th one. Jesus, I got a red one, I got a green one, I got a cream one, now I got the blue one. I love those Sheridan jackets. Yeah, Kith is kind of like, to me, Kith has kind of peaked a little bit as much as I love Kith. Like, if you don't have a lot of pieces, then there's definitely still space for you, but I have so many Kith pieces. It's like, yo, I really don't need anything else from this brand. They've served me well over these 10 years. But shout out, I got water bottles and coffee mugs and pins and coffee table. But I got all types of stuff from Kith, man. Like, it's crazy. Okay. All right, everybody's talking about we go on. That's great. Yes, I feel like believers in our context aren't usually well equipped to grieve well. I'm excited to see how they do this. Trying to learn how to equip and resource my circle. Absolutely. Like I said it on my I was actually gonna clip that up for some short form content, but I just feel like we don't have, not even just like Christians, but I feel like people just don't have good relationships with their emotions. Like it's very hard to give myself over to God and then just trust that he'll make the difference when like every aspect of my life and just people's lives in general, it's very hard, I think, generally for people to give themselves over to God and to trust the process of him to like make us whole and all that, language that we use. Like we don't even do relationships with our friends well. We don't put good things into our body. We don't, listen to good things. We have bad relationships with so many things, right? And then it's like, oh yeah, then this like deity, that sits in the sky or is omnipresent is like, yeah, come to me and I'll give you rest. And we're just like, okay. And it's like, you don't even know how to do that. So even when God says like, trust me, it's like, how do I trust you? What does that look like? Follow my commandment. How do I do that? Like how? Though, like the practical steps for like these very supernatural biblical things are like, it's simple, but it's not. And I think we could stand to have a little more simplicity and practicality in our supernatural. And I think that would help us out tremendously. So, yeah. Yep. Oh, Philip is in here. Philip, what up, man? What's good with you, my guy? Yes, agree. Hold on. Agree with this, yo. Fake. I couldn't even get past it. I tried to listen to it. I bought it. That's why I didn't recommend it. I couldn't get past the first chapter. It was so fake deep. I couldn't do it. Let's see. All right, there we go. I think that's it. Okay. Yep. Do I have the Kith Monopoly game? No, I don't. I'm not that much of a fan. That Monopoly game was like $400, man. I'm not doing that. Not at all. So, hey, let me ask y'all this. I'm gonna just ask y'all what I think. Hold on, what does this look like? Hold on, what is this? No? Okay. So, do y'all know what's going on with D1 and Rick Ross? Have y'all heard about that? So, if you haven't, so D1 is a rapper out of New Orleans, and he recently called out Rick Ross about his content. He just talked about like content in hip hop and how degrading it is and how, terrible it is. And he just called out Rick Ross by name. And Rick Ross responded and kind of like tried to little boy him. Like, hey, man, I give out. Don't worry about what I'm doing. I give out turkeys in the hood. Let me know when you do this, that, and the third. And then D1 responded and was like, hey, man, I've done all the things that you talked about. I was a teacher. I have gone viral. I do this, right? So what is y'all's take? What is y'all's take on that? I didn't hear what Joe said. What did Joe say? What is y'all's take on that? Like, for me, when I came into the faith, the biggest shock was just how, because I kind of got put in like that Christian hip hop scene. It was just amazing for me to see how poorly Christians interacted with hip hop. I feel like that's gotten much better since then. Meek dismissed too. Okay, what did Meek say? Because so I think it's a little complicated, I would say. Now I wish I could play the video. Like my goal my goal was to like have all this stuff up on the screen for people who, like, my mom is in here. Like, my mom don't pay attention to this stuff, man. Like, so I would like to have these videos up. I just didn't make time. I didn't have time. So, okay. Meek said D was clout chasing. Okay. So what do y'all think? Before I give my opinion, what do y'all think? Does D have a point? Is D clout chasing? What do y'all think? Okay, just said Joe missed the point. Yeah, so actually, let me just. No, I'm not pulling it up. Okay, I'll pull it up. Meek was like, he late. They've been doing this or something. Okay. Let me see. Actually, I think the Hip Hop Wolf has it. I think they have it. Let's see. It's too many, man. It's too much content. It's too much content, man. Why am I scrolling through all this stuff? It's too much content. Okay, here's Meek's response.
I love you too much. I love you too much to not be honest with you. Rick Ross, you could do better, brother. Meek Mill, you could do better, brother. I love you too much not to be honest with you. Are you the face of prison reform? Cause are you the face of prison reform? Or are you sitting here on your new song with Ross talking about getting somebody murked and shot at the red light? Which one is it, bro? Which one is it, bro? Because I did a shoe giveaway in my city and gave out 1,300 pairs of your shoes because they said reform underneath them. And I love that you partnered with a major shoe company and you out here pushing prison reform. But now I got to sit here like, man, this man glorifying getting people killed as of a week ago. Like, what are you doing, bro? Lil Snoop really got killed. That broke your heart. You wear him around your neck. Why are you glorifying the same thing? The rap game, hip-hop industry is great at cooking up some delicious poison. I don't call you out because I got a problem with you, man. Like, I wish we could go get lunch right now, me and any of them. I love you too. Jones, you could do better, brother. I love to not be honest with you.
Okay. Oh, Meek didn't even. Okay, Meek said, "Nah, we do everything. I was rapping this way before I became the face of reform. That's how I got there. Y'all forgot that fast." That don't even make sense. Okay. I wish Meek's response was better, but it wasn't. Okay, so we'll just go there. Right? All right, let's see what y'all said. What y'all say? Okay, so David, that's exactly what he said. All right, here we go. So Julian said, I think D has a point. He's not clout chasing. He's been on this for a while. Jordan said, with all the tragedies with the young generation regarding violence, D makes sense. Kelly said, Joe said D was clout chasing. Meek was dismissive, playing innocent in a way. Philip said, I said it on his post, but to be honest, this is very consistent with who D1 has always been. Julian said, but I don't know if the call put in that D doing it is everyone's job to do. And Philip said he's been coming at negativity and glorification of violence in hip hop for well over a decade. Okay, and Kelly said, I admire D. I think that actually has impacted some fans more than artists. I think so too. And that's really who you want is the fans. I think D1 has used his platform to address things on his heart, but the fact that boys respond actually makes it more of a shock. I'm not mad at it. For sure. You know, I think it's layered. So here's everything that I see. So the first thing that I see, and I'm gonna address this and then I'm gonna get out of here. So the first thing that I see is that D is absolutely right that these artists contradict themselves and essentially play Nino Brown. If you remember, like, Nino Brown was selling drugs in the hood, but then like would hand out turkeys on Thanksgiving. So you handing out turkeys to like the same community that you're destroying with your poison. You know, it's absolutely right that these artists are rapping about, they're being irresponsible with their platform. I think that's absolutely true. I also believe that, D1 has been doing this for a while. This is who he is. He put out 50 J and Wheezy, I think, right? Long time ago. So he's always been doing this. I think when the clout chasing comes into play in that response, I think it's very easy to dismiss that when like the truth is there. But it's like, it's weird. Like I think promotion in 2023 is so weird nowadays because I feel like D just dropped some music, right? I feel like in his Rick Ross response, he like, yo, I just put out an album. You should go check it out, blah, 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 blah. And to Kellis's point, the fans that he's winning over are going to go check out the album because there's a lot of people who feel like that. And because the algorithm is what it is, and because like, how else are you supposed to promote? Like if my post goes viral, if my music goes viral, then like I need to make sure that I have something to point them to. So, the algorithm rewards the clout chase. So like you can't dismiss it when like Ross is on social media every day doing the clout chasing. You know what I'm saying? Like he's responding to, talking about Nia Long and Jeezy, and he's talking about Jada Pinkett and all that. That's clout chasing. Like it's kind of clout. It is, but it isn't, right? And this is why I say the algorithm rewards it, because on one hand, what does Rick Ross have to do with Jada Pinkett? Why is Rick Ross commenting on this, right? It's Dave Chappelle. We got Ja Rule on the phone. 9/11 just happened. I don't want to dance. I'm scared to death. I don't go to at Rich Forever and say, man, I wonder what Rick Ross thinks about Jada Pinkett and her book. You know what I'm saying? Like, but Ross knows that that Jada Pinkett is a hot topic, and if he wants to, and his response, because he has a large following on social media, this, that, and the third, that no matter what he says, even if it has a hint of controversy, then it'll go viral and it'll keep him relevant. So he doesn't have to keep dropping music, and he can still keep his brand up and keep his money rolling in, because when people see you and they see you consistently, they're going to reach out to you and they're going to book you and they're going to pay you, and you can keep your money flowing and keep your business going, right? So clout chase isn't like the big, like, aha. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not the big indictment that people think it is, because you're on social media and social media rewards the clout chase. I think my only pushback for D is that I wish D kind of showed his age a little bit. It just so happens that Ross and Meek are putting out an album on Friday, but like Ross and Meek are like people, like when I think of like content and music, especially nowadays, I be listening to these kids. You know what I'm saying? Like he called out Jim Jones, like them niggas is in their 40s. Where was like, yo, you from Louisiana, like NBA Youngboy, like all the Chicago rappers, the Jacksonville rappers, Foolio, Young and Ace, Jada Youngin, who passed away last year. Like the stuff that these kids be talking about is nuts. Like Ross and Meek, they kind of, it's weird. Like they've kind of settled in. Like they not really like the top guys, but you got these dudes that's like, they really got like Ross and Meek ain't got the kids. The kids ain't listening to Rick Ross. The kids ain't listening to Meek Mill. Like Meek is done out here. But they are listening to these other kids, these NBA young, that just be talking crazy. And I'm not saying that D1 wouldn't call them out. I'm saying that I would have loved to have heard what that response would have been like. It might have been a little more aggressive towards D, and I would have liked to see his response to that energy. I think he would have been able to handle it well, just being a middle school teacher. But I would have loved to see him like really call out the kid, like these kids, this hip hop that these kids, these lyrics that these kids be rapping nowadays, crazy. They be talking nuts. And they be doing what they talk about. You don't really hear stories about Ross running up in somebody's house and shooting somebody. You know what I'm saying? But them Jacksonville rappers, them Chicago rappers, like these kids now literally be rapping about, yo, had a Who I Smoke whole song dancing at a golf club over a Vanessa Carlton 1,000 Miles sample talking about people that they actually killed. Whole documentaries about, you know what I'm saying, like the lifestyle that these people lived and people that they killed. Like I would have loved to have seen him respond to like the generation under him on some like OGs. And I wonder if they just would have disregarded him, be like, man, get out of here, old man. But I would have loved to have heard that response. That's my only pushback for D. I would have loved to have heard it. So, and I say this on Clock Radio speakers all the time. I'm like, yo, I have a podcast where I'm literally talking about music and hip hop and listening. We're going to listen to that Ross and Meek album. We're going to review it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking forward to the album. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been in my I was a big MMG fan. I listened to a podcast where I wonder if what I say, because I'm not taking the D1 approach, it's a little more complicated. That's what I want to talk about. It's a little more complicated in the approach that I take, because I do say like, yo, some of this stuff I ain't gonna listen to, but I've also said, yo, music don't influence me like that. I'm not gonna listen to a Rick Ross song and like want to go shoot somebody. I'm not gonna listen to it. Like I'm almost 40. You know what I'm saying? So like when people are like, yo, do you listen to hip hop? Yes, I do. I don't, music doesn't have that kind of effect over me. I also understand like the inner workings of the music industry, and I understand that the pipeline connection, right? Let's break down the connection of music, the industry, and you have to ask yourself, why are these artists rapping about what they're rapping about? You have to ask yourself that before you just get on what they're rapping about. The number one question to always ask is why, right? Now, when you look at, so like a bunch of raps, if you go on YouTube and you just type in like Rap City, there's an account that has uploaded full episodes of Rap City. Everything from like every episodes in 1990, 91, 92 up to like 97, 98. Right before The Basement, right before Big Tigger. And when you watch those old episodes, 90, 91, 92, like there's a lot of what's championed is a lot of like positivity, having fun. And people often say that like the introduction of gangster rap, like even though Straight Outta Compton was a thing, Straight Outta Compton leading into The Chronic and Doggy Style and Death Row's Run and everything that came with that, LA riots, all those things, right? Who are the record labels that was signing these people and like telling, like promoting that, right? So when I think of like, when you look at black kids in the hood, you look at young black kids in the hood, Meek even talked about having PTSD. Just based off of things like I've seen a lot of my friends get killed. So similar to like we're living in a literal war zone. So for many of us, we process our grief, our emotions, we process them through creativity. So, man, I feel this way. I'm overwhelmed. Let me write a song. So there are so many kids in the hood who have similar PTSD experiences, and their way of processing what they see is that they want to express it creatively. So they write songs, right? So not only do they write songs, then you pick up your phone or you turn on your TV and you see what you're writing. You see what you see you're hearing what you see, right? Through the music. And then you're seeing the people rap about it have chains and cars. And basically they are in an environment where they don't have to worry about gunshots. They don't have to worry about whether they're going to live or die. They don't have to worry about taking certain routes to school. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so the thought process is they do math, rapper math, right? Girl math, boy math, rapper math. And the math is, okay, if I write about this, then that could potentially put me in a position to where I can escape my reality, my environment, and wear the chain and drive the car and get the girl, because I'm not able to do any of that stuff. I'm sharing clothes with my little brother. You know what I'm saying? And so when you have these record labels that are signed, that a record label is a record deal is just a predatory loan with an insane interest rate. So if I give you $1 million, you have to pay that back 30% on that $1 million interest rate, or there's 30% interest rate on that $1 million loan. Not only that, the fact that I'm rapping about these things and the culture that we're in makes it to where I have to live what I rap about. If I don't live what I rap about, I'm Tekashi, and you see what they did to him. So now I go from city to city, and basically every day I have to prove to every city, I'm in these hole-in-the-wall clubs, and I have to prove in every single city that I'm as tough as I say I am on these raps, even if I'm not. Because the goal is not to prove how tough I am on these raps. It is to get out of my environment. But what's broken is people still feel like they got to be tough. Like I really got to do some. I know kids that literally will do some stuff simply so they can write a rap about it, so they can get out of their environment. That's the goal. Yo, let me go rob this store, so then I can write a song about it, shoot a video, and then I'm lit, and then I can get out of the hood. But then if somebody was to test me or test I got it on me. So it ain't nothing to me to go rob somebody or harm somebody or hurt somebody in order to prove how real I am, because the realer I am, the more money I'm going to make. You know what I'm saying? It's why the dynamic of 50 Cent versus Kanye West was so staggering, because, again, like, listen, y'all, Jimmy Iovine's behind a white Jewish man is behind all this stuff. So Jimmy Iovine is behind all of this stuff, right? So these record companies are pushing out a certain narrative. That's all they're pushing out. Like, this Rap City documentary that's on BET is really good. And what they wanted to say was that when Viacom bought them out, that BET changed. You know what I'm saying? It's what they wanted to say. Because if y'all remember, that Little Brother video for Loving It did not get played because BET said that it was too intelligent for their audience. The old BET, if you go and look at those videos, would have never said that. The black-owned BET that was based out of Washington, D.C. would have never said that. Would have never said something was, they playing Sounds of Blackness. They playing Poor Righteous Teachers. They Bobby Jones gospel. Like, they're not going to say this is intelligent. They're not going to say this is too intelligent. But what they are going to say, but Viacom owned, got these big suits in New York. Yeah, they're going to say that, this is too intelligent for our audience. We're not going to play that. And I've heard stories behind the scenes like BET was pushing back hard, but Viacom was like, nah. Like upper management, that was like a leadership executive decision to not play that Little Brother video. And what's crazy is that's not even a super intelligent Little Brother song. Loving It is not about like the plight of black folk. I mean, it's off of an album called The Minstrel Show. So maybe you don't want to bring attention to that. But like, you have to ask yourself, why do Meek Mill and Rick Ross and all these other artists feel like they have to rap about this stuff and live out what they rap about? Because that's what's going to make them more money. Jay said, truthfully, I can't rhyme. I want to rhyme like Common Sense, but I sold 5 mil. I ain't been rapping like Common Sense. You don't think rappers wanna? It's the same way that like all the rappers know who like Sky Zoo is. All the rappers knew who Joe Budden was when he was rapping. So like, yo, I know you get busy, you da 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 da. But they not gonna rap like that even if they want to, because lyrical miracle rapidy rap stuff don't sell. And I'm rapping because I'm trying to make a lot of money. And I know what makes a lot of money is ignorance, is murder, is death. And meanwhile, while all the rappers are beefing with each other, while D1 is calling out Rick Ross and Meek Mill, who put Rick Ross and Meek Mill in a position to rap? Who made it to where they felt like they had to rap about what they was rapping about? Why would Robert Kraft from one of these like one of these old white executives that Meek been running around playing tennis with going, why wouldn't one of them say, all right, yo, we gonna make you the voice of prison reform. You should probably change your content. Did anybody tell him that? Anybody who's put money in his pocket, did they tell him that? Maybe, or maybe not. So it's a cycle and it's gonna continue. So D1 benefits the most because he is echoing the sentiment of the people like, hey, you guys stop rapping about that terrible rap music. And nobody goes to Rick Ross and Meek Mill and say, yo, why do you feel like you need to rap about that stuff? Is there any other way? And that's why Ross's response was money. Because that's the motive. Does anybody like connect these dots? It's deeper than that. And I think that's what bothers me is that we just go surface level and nobody digs into deeper layers. This is layered, y'all. Why are we in the hood in the first place? Why are we in America in the first place? We got to do like, I saw this. So also one of the things we gonna talk about on our Kairos conversations, like, yo, why are we in America? Why are we in America? I saw this quote that someone said, it was on Earn Your Leisure. Like Earn Your Leisure has been talking about how different African countries are making it so to where you can visit without needing a visa. And like I'm seeing these landscape pictures of these like beautiful African countries. I'm not just saying this about Africa, but there are so many countries that are just beautiful. Hearing things about Dubai, beautiful. And somebody left a comment, was like, yo, if you let America tell it, Africa is just full of like, huts, mud huts and dirt roads. And that's not true. There are parts of Africa that are incredibly affluent. There are parts of the Middle East that are incredibly affluent. But they want to keep us here in America. We're like, we have to literally position ourselves as threats to our neighborhood. I was just reading something about Tookie Williams and the Crips. We all know why gangs were implemented. It was the fallout of the Black Panther Party, and gangs were implemented to protect the environment because the police was coming around on BS. Who introduced crack, who introduced cocaine, who introduced drugs to these poor environments and made it so. That's the thing that I liked about Snowfall, which is crazy you're making a show about this. But that's the thing I liked about Snowfalls. They showed in the first season, the most telling thing about season 1 was, I think that was episode 1 or episode 2. They had a party at Jerome's house. So you see like the community together, and then as like crack infiltrates into LA, you see the divide and you see the aggression go up more and more and more. Right? When nobody think about drugs, when nobody. But hey, who am I? I'm talking to 14 of y'all right now. But I know I'm not wrong. And I think those things are important to say, and those are important conversations to have. And I think we as believers and we as Christians could stand to ask more questions. I think sometimes because we feel like we have the truth, then, you know, that gives us a license to just like only declare and only challenge and only fight against. When like sometimes the ability to like, how you really showcase God is like having the truth, but like just like making space for people to process themselves into truth. Asking the right questions, being inquisitive, like really being genuinely concerned and interested in like people's thought process and why people make the decisions that they made. You think if Meek grew up in I won't even say, because even this has layers, right? So if I say, yo, you think if Meek grew up in a 2-parent household, I think his dad got killed in jail or something like that. But you think if Meek grew up in a 2-parent household and he wasn't in the hood, you think he'd be rapping about what he's rapping about? Like maybe not. So we think about all the suburban rappers who grew up in nice households and, you know, Clarence parents had a real good marriage. Like that's a diss, right? But why was B Rabbit's battle verse about Papa Doc a diss? Because Papa Doc felt the need to present himself in a way. And I guarantee you it's because he saw something and either said, that's going to bring me money, or that's going to bring me affirmation or power or status, or these things that we feel like this is how we have to present in order to get it. And it's not true. It's not true. So it pisses me off so much, y'all. Like, the relationship that we have, the relationship we have with hip hop. What's up, TR? See, I was just talking about you. I don't know how long you've been in here. I was just talking about you in our conversation. But the relationship that we have with hip hop, like, it just needs to be more complex. And I saw Kellis, side note, what Kellis said about Rick Ross and Officer. Like, listen, man, the COs were dirty. So I'm not really ascribing to like, yo, Rick Ross was a cop. Like, yo, the COs was dirty in prison. Super dirty. When I was in the military, there were gang members who would join the military so they could like get military training, and then they would get out and they would go back to their set and they would teach their set the military training. So just because someone is a cop don't necessarily mean, to me, they don't necessarily mean that they joined because they wanted to do the right thing. It's the propaganda that America spews that everybody who joined the military after 9/11 was done so for patriotic reasons. Absolutely not. We didn't join the military because we felt this need to serve our country. Some of us did. But some of us need to get out of our environment. This was our rap career. Yo, I'm in the hood. I'm down bad. I need to get out. Here's the military. Let me figure this out. You know what I'm saying? So that stuff, it pisses me off so much, yo. Like now I'm irritated. It pisses me off so much because we could have a better relationship with hip hop and we just choose not to. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Man, listen. Some of them folks that I was stationed with, gang members, straight up, like, and not hiding it either. Like, yo, I'm GD, I'm a blood, I'm from here. Like, would tell you. Yo, I'm Aryan Nation. I'm MS-13. Wasn't just the black folks. I'm Aryan Nation. I'm MS-13. Like, yo, you would find out so much and they would be super cool. But let them get some liquor in their system. Let it be, we be in the dorms partying, or we be at the AC, the Airmen's Club, or the NCO Club, or we be out in the community or whatever, clubbing late night, whatever. Like, they would turn up. Some of them didn't even make it through their term, their enlistment. They got kicked out. They still had their training though. Woo! Jesus. All right. I'm done. I'm done. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go tend. I hear my 2-year-old downstairs. Okay, so next steps. Let's do next steps. Let me tell y'all what's coming up next. So, what I want you guys to do, if you are not, I'm just gonna tell y'all early. If you are not subscribed to my Patreon, what I just learned this week is that you can actually follow my Patreon. You can follow it for free. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let off some free things and only on my Patreon. So I want you to be able to follow me there so you have access to some free stuff. So that's a move for y'all. For my Patreon supporters, we are going to do a stream soon. We'll talk on the chat. But I want to get together and do another Zoom-like call with y'all. And maybe we can do a Q&A, or we can just kind of talk through some of this, just through some stuff. I don't know. We'll figure that out. But I want to do something for y'all coming up. Lately, I've been putting out music every Friday. So if you were trying to hear some Armand Wake Up stuff, like I got music. Oh, that's what I'm doing, y'all. The first thing that I'm going to let out for free is the Understand the Reasons video. So that's already available on the Patreon, but you can watch it. You'll be able to watch it for free this Friday on the Patreon. So head over to my Patreon, follow for free, whatever, and then you'll be able to watch it for free. I won't even charge y'all. I just want y'all to get acclimated in the community, follow, all that good stuff. Next week, God willing, we'll be here. We're going to talk model ministry. We're going to talk clothes. We're going to talk clothes, right? I'm going to go through this haul. I'm going to show y'all what I got. You know what I'm saying? Got some work in here. You feel me? We got some work. We're going to talk fashion. We gonna go crazy. So if you're big in the fashion space, men's fashion, women, and my homegirl is going to join me. My homegirl Lauren, who is like one of my like fashion people that I go to. So definitely tune in. I'll give y'all more information there. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. I've been on Threads heavy. I've got more followers on Threads like within the last month that I've gotten on Twitter in the last 2 years. Like my number has been the same forever on Twitter. Like I'm just not on there. But follow me on Instagram. Go to ArmandWakeUp.com and sign up for the newsletter if you're not already, or you can join the Patreon and follow the Patreon for free. And you can get in that bag. And I think that's it. So new Armand Wake Up video this Friday morning. I think that's it. All right, y'all. Before y'all get out of here, if you have not liked the video, please like this video. I really do appreciate y'all. I'm about to go check on my 2-year-old. I'm about to check on my wife, and I'm gonna get out of here. I really do love and appreciate y'all so much. Thank you for letting me talk for an hour and a half and engaging with me. And I really do appreciate y'all. This year is going to be great. And I'm definitely going to reward y'all for this ride, man. So y'all have a great night. And y'all be cool how y'all be cool, man. Thank y'all.